we will present to you like getting the most out of the Trimble X7 3D laser scanner. So we just introduce ourselves briefly, and then Alex Oxin will be like the star of the show today. Will take us through all the different steps. So I'm Arnaud. I'm the market manager for 3D scanning. I'm based in France today. And then we have Jason. I don't know if you're on the line.
Hello, I'm Jason Hayes, market manager for the 3D laser scanning software, and I am based out of Montana,
USA.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm Alex Oxen. I'm the product marketing manager for 3D scanning based here in Westminster, Colorado.
And the next slide for Paolo. And I don't know if you can talk, but like Paolo is also like the key account vertical market manager for 3D scanning for the EMEA region. He's based in Florence, Italy. And Steven Witte is a technical sales engineer for EMEA, based in Germany. So today, the four of us will be like in the behind the curtain. We're gonna be ready to answer all your questions. But again, Alex Oxin will be the star of the show. He will take you through many things. For like a quick introduction about the Trimble scanning portfolio, and then he will explain the new indoor mode, geo-referencing. He will do some live demo, which is always like challenging. But we thanks Alex to take up the challenge to make like a live demo. It's not always easy. So thank you, Alex, for this, for the live demonstration. And Alex, it's all yours. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Arnaud. Yeah, so before we start getting into the indoor mode, we're just kind of going to quickly just go over the portfolio. Obviously, we have the X7 scanner, which today is all about, paired with the Trimble Perspective field software. We have the TX6 and the TX8, the TX8 being the first time of flight scanner to hit 1 million points, and the SX12, which was just released a little over a year ago now, I believe. And then on the field software side, obviously we have Perspective, and then going into the office, we have Realworks and Trimble Business Center, which are both fantastic and really great for, depending on what you're doing, can be fantastic solutions. So just kind of setting the stage for what the X7 is. So simple, smart, professional. The X7 is really easy to use. It's super user-friendly. The workflows that are built into Perspective really make it a simple, good experience for anybody who picks up the scanner. Smart, the scanner has obviously the X drive for the full calibration in field so that you know that you're getting your quality data, and the in-field smarts of the registration inside of Perspective to make sure that you're getting all of your overlap you need for scans and sorts. And then obviously professional, this scanner, we trust the quality of it. It has IP55 and it has a 2-year warranty, which only the SX12 and the X7 have in the industry. And we really do trust the quality of the instrument that we are putting out. So yeah, going over some of the, kind of the high level features that I just want you guys to remember as we kind of go through some of the stuff today. The automatic calibration, the registration assist, the laser pointer, that is one of my favorite features, and obviously the survey grade self-leveling with 3 arcsecond within 10 degrees is always very useful to get from station to station and be more productive. Awesome. So the indoor scan mode. So essentially, just want to set the stage here. So in order to enable the indoor scan mode, you need to have, for the X7 firmware, you need to be on 2.3.22, and the Perspective software version has to be 2.1.3. Just wanted to say that in case I mentioned that throughout the PowerPoint, you guys can just know what I'm talking about. And yes, you need to have both of these minimum versions in order to see it. So enabling the indoor mode, so the mode can be found under settings, scanner, and then indoor mode. You'll see it's defaulted to off. You can just push it to on and you'll be able to get scanning with the 1 minute mode. So what is the 1 minute mode? So this is really a productivity mode that we came out with to really benefit indoor stable environments where you just need to go through and get your scans quickly. This really is just a very quick mode for indoors and to acquire those scans at a faster pace so that you can get in and get out and get to a new project quicker. So what changes with the indoor mode? So essentially, when you enable the indoor mode and you switch to that 1 minute scan, the first indoor scan will do a full calibration and tilt measurement. So essentially, it will be a little bit longer than any scan after that. But that first scan is kind of just setting the stage for what environmental variables are kind of present where you're scanning. And so after that first scan, you're going to just have quick checks with the scanner, and you'll essentially just be doing those 1 minute scans. And every hour, a full calibration and tilt measurement will happen just to kind of check on the environment and make sure that everything's looking good and you're still getting quality data from the point cloud you're producing. And just a note that the scanner is limited to 30 meters while using the indoor mode. This is really because this is a indoor focused productivity mode where you just want to be getting indoor spaces. So obviously, if you have any large indoor spaces, you can just use one of the standard scan modes to capture that data. But that's kind of the idea behind this. So kind of just impacts that I want to just mention just to make the best out of your workflow so that you kind of know these ahead of time going into any scan projects. So there are a few things that can make the full calibration happen before the hour's up. The first being if the instrument's power cycled. So obviously, if I take the battery out and replace it with a new one, I will do a full calibration and tilt measurement. And then the other one is, so if there's a large temperature swing that's kind of detected in the instrument, essentially you'll just do a full calibration and tilt measurement. So I kind of just say that as, so if you're doing an indoor space where maybe there's a walk-in freezer or something, maybe and you're going to be using the indoor mode, just maybe put that at the end so that you know that that place will probably cause a full calibration so you can do the rest of the building with no issues very efficiently and quickly. And so just comparing this, so the indoor mode compared to the standard 2 minute scan mode, which previously before this was the fastest scan mode that we had. So there's around a 35% productivity gain while using the indoor mode over the 2 minute scan mode, taken that you're in a stable indoor environment using the indoor mode. It probably can go up a little bit higher, and you probably can save even more time depending on how good you are at figuring out where your scans go for overlap and things like that. And one thing I do want to mention, kind of some initial feedback that we actually got was it seemed like the indoor mode also had a little bit less noise compared to the 2 minutes for those longer scans where you might be getting a little bit more range noise. So yeah, if you guys start using it and have any feedback, feel free to share that. And just kind of a note, so this mode really is for just being productive and going scan, scan, scan. So the precision point and the laser pointer are disabled while using indoor mode. So I mostly mention that. So if you do need to georeference indoors, just use one of the standard modes to be able to access the precision point wherever you have your target set up to get that registration. Just want to make sure that you get the most out of what you're doing, and you kind of can gauge how your workflow changes when you're able to utilize this awesome mode. So now going into georeferencing. So really here, I just want to highlight some of the changes to precision points and some of the kind of tips and tricks for georeferencing that hopefully you guys don't know and will be useful to you in the field. So first, kind of just setting the stage, obviously. So the precision points, they're scan points that are accurately measured by the scanner. I believe it takes around 21 points, the scanner will measure 21 points with the EDM, and you can precisely locate what points you want to have a precision point with the laser pointer, which is one of my favorite features on the scanner. And so these precision points are taken from a station-based view after you take a full dome scan. And right there on the right side that's just essentially the messaging that you'll get if you try to take a precision point after the fact. So yeah, just make sure that you take your precision points after doing your full dome. And I would always advise to never delete a precision point unless you're very confident, because precision points are a lot better than annotations, and you don't want to have to take another scan in order to get your precision point back. So just looking kind of high level at a few different scenarios of georeferencing. So obviously on the left-hand side, we just have a target on the wall. In the middle there, we have a target outside, but it's on, I believe that would be your telescopic pole. So you're obviously measuring to the center of the target. So the target that you're actually georeferencing to is the point at the bottom of the pole. And then lastly, over on the right-hand side, that is where I was shooting just a point in the middle of a manhole with a catalyst antenna. And you can see that the laser pointer is still there. Even I think I probably was standing behind it for shadow, but you can still see the laser pointer outside, and if you can find creative ways, you can definitely see it. So what I'm really excited for is this new enhancement to the precision points. So essentially, when you're taking multiple precision points at the same time, now with this latest release, you're going to see an increase in productivity in your ability to capture these precision points faster. So what I mean by that is essentially now when you're capturing precision points, the precision point is deeply tied with the scan station. So instead of taking a calibration for every single precision point, we're now really just using the calibration that is taken from the full dome scan, because obviously the scanner hasn't moved, and we're just doing a few checks and making sure that everything's all right. And essentially with getting rid of that calibration, if you're how do I word this? So if you're taking multiple precision points, you're going to be able to go boom, 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 and say take 3 precision points a lot faster than you would where you'd have to calibrate every time. And yeah, I think it's a really exciting feature, because I think the precision point is really great to use, and being able to do it faster and increase your productivity and just get to the next station and not have to wait for a calibration anymore is really awesome. So working with precision points, this is one thing that I really want to highlight, because I think if you don't know about it, it's going to change your world for when you're working with precision points. So essentially, if we look at the image on the right where the arrow is pointing, that is the standard crosshair that will come up when you go into the precision point workflow. But if you actually turn on the laser pointer and you click on the center of that crosshair, you'll get these 4 kind of carrot sticks that come up around. I circled one in the bottom right-hand corner. And essentially, these can be used for making little micro adjustments to get your laser exactly where you want it. So not only are you able to take a precision point and get it to the center, but you can also physically verify that that laser is going right to the center, and what you're measuring, what you think you're measuring on the screen is what you're measuring in real life, which is really powerful for me, because I know obviously with any touch screen you can be close, but there's nothing better than just having the laser pointer there. So the GIF in the middle is just a picture-in-picture of me moving the laser using the carrot on the side there. So now just some quick notes. So when you are georeferencing, and I'll show some of this during the demo, but essentially you can either choose to key in your control, or you can choose to import like a text file or a CSV. Yeah, I think I'll be using a CSV from Trimble Access later. And one note I want to make, because this is all about the success of georeferencing, I highly suggest making sure that the project is refined before you georeference. It gives the best chance of success of the georeference. Your registration will be tighter. It's all around what you want to do. So going through kind of some tiers of precision points and kind of how to navigate these. So obviously the top one there where it's just the crosshair in the middle, that is a precision point. It is just a plain precision point. So it's just a measured point that you took at a scan station, whereas right below it with the check mark in the top right-hand corner, that precision point is actually marked for georeferencing. So what that essentially really means is that when you go into the georeferencing workflow and you import your control, you'll only actually see the precision points that have been marked for georeferencing. And then going down a step further to the third one where it's a precision point that is in green. So essentially that the green signifies that that precision point is georeferenced and it is in with it's inside the tolerance that you have set, which we'll go over in the settings. And then finally, the last one is a precision point that has been georeferenced, but it is currently not inside of tolerance. One moment, I just need to take water. Okay, so continuing on. So as I was kind of mentioning or alluding to, so you can move from a precision point to using for georeferencing even after the fact that you take the precision point. So yeah, this really just makes it whether or not the point is going to be visible while you're inside the georeferencing workflow. So if there's areas of interest that you want to have precision point on, but you don't plan on using for georeferencing, or that you maybe thought that you could use for georeferencing, and maybe you didn't want to do another setup with your total station in order to actually see that point or something, you can easily just uncheck it or recheck it. And yeah, so the two kind of important things that you can change with precision points after the fact are whether or not you use it for georeferencing, and also the target height. So if you have a checkerboard target on a pole, you can change that height and input it later if you forget to do it while you're originally setting up that precision point. So yeah, as I kind of alluded to before, so inside of settings under units, you can actually set your georeference or display tolerance. So essentially it's how many, so here we're in the metric system, so it's how many millimeters you kind of want. So really depending on your project requirements and what your deliverable looks like, you can kind of set this as you wish. By default, it is set to 10 millimeters. And obviously, as you change that, it will bring some of the orange points inside of tolerance, or maybe some of the green points outside of tolerance. And that can help you decide maybe if you have a lot of precision points, maybe there's some that you don't need to use for georeferencing if they are outside of tolerance, and maybe you just didn't have a good fix for when you were taking the shot, or there's too much tree cover or something. So now jumping into some of our favorite tools. So starting off, this is, I think this is called the Jason button. Yeah, Jason Hayes, if you guys know him, this is his button. This is probably one of the coolest things in perspective. The more that I use it, the more that it excites me. And yeah, so essentially what this really is you can focus on an area of the point cloud, and you'll see that point cloud at full density. So this really, I would say the two main uses for this feature are you can check to make sure that you got enough points in an area that you particularly know you want a lot of data on, or if you want to find an area of commonality between two scans and you want to kind of see how the registration lines up. So this really is one of the, just an awesome tool, especially because we are able to bring in all of the points of an area. Obviously, when you're in perspective, normally it's sampled down, but you can bring in that full density point cloud for specific features, which is definitely useful. And just highlighting also, so if you look in the GIF on the top left-hand corner, you can use the plus and minus keys to add or subtract the area of interest. So obviously, if I reduce it, there will be less of an area. So say I wanted to get the diameter of that pole or something, I could reduce it by quite a bit. Or maybe there's something underneath that pole and I wanted to get that in as well. I could increase it. So you can also use the magnify area tool in the station-based view. And I think this GIF actually started midway through, but essentially, instead of having to navigate the point cloud, if you want to quickly just go to one of the images on your station-based view, and it should be popping up here in a second, essentially, you can just click you just click on the magnify area tool, and you just click on the area of interest like you're seeing right here, right now. So I click on the propeller of this shop right here, and it just brings up that full density point cloud again. Really, I wanted to mention this because I think this is probably an easier way to actually make sure you're clicking on what you're clicking on, because obviously we all know that point clouds can get busy, especially with the amount of scans. But if you know what station has visibility of an area that you're interested in, you can just use that. And I wanted to highlight this because I was a little embarrassed that I did not realize this, and I just wanted to share it with all of you that the magnify area tool is actually in Realworks too. I did not fully read the manual, I guess, which I'm kind of disappointed in myself. But yeah, you can use this magnify area tool in Realworks as well. So essentially, you're just pressing the N key while you're using your mouse to hover over an area. And you can take some measurements and a few other things too. Shout out to Mohan, who works with Jason, because he put up a short video on this. And that's actually how I realized that this was available in Realworks too. So one really great tool for seeing if you will need to go back and look at your registration and see how things are going, or see if maybe you don't have enough overlap between two stations. So underneath the eye-looking button with the triangle, that is highlighted on the left-hand side, and then the third button in, which is the kind of almost like an undo button with a triangle. So that's actually the last scan stations button. So essentially, by default, it is set to 5 stations, and you will see the last 5 stations that you took. So this is mostly good if you need to just kind of keep track of how, if you're expecting your last station to register to your next station, just kind of keeping track of how your registration is going while you're in the field. And then on the other hand, we also have the nearest scan station, and these being used together can be really powerful in order to, if you are having trouble in some area getting registration to happen, you can kind of see based on what station you click on, what actual stations are physically closest, so distance-wise are nearest to you. So in the case of 15 here, you obviously have 16 and 14, but also 6 and 5. So that's kind of how it differs from the last stations. So obviously your last stations are not always your closest stations. And this also, especially when you're in the color-coded scan view, makes it a lot easier to kind of see how your registration looks from scan to scan. And highlighting, so yeah, I mentioned, so this is by default set to 5, but you can set it anywhere between 1 and 100. Yeah, but it's very important to kind of know this. So obviously, if you do find an area that you may need to go back and add another scan in for overlap, or if the registration just doesn't fit quite right, sorry, you can just kind of go here and help navigate based on kind of how much you want to see to either get a more holistic view or a more narrowed view based on what's going on. So, and finally, I'm going to leave it off with the See Inside button. So I thought this was a really great thing to kind of end on, because I think this really complements the indoor mode really well. Obviously, so in the picture here, this is just an apartment that I was using the indoor mode scans on. So this took me basically no time at all to get part of my apartment, we'll say. But yeah, so on the left-hand side there with the kind of opaque cloud, obviously when you're kind of looking at an oblique view of the point cloud, you're not actually going to see anything because the walls are kind of hiding it inside. But when you click the See Inside button and the cloud becomes translucent, I can see inside and navigate and make sure that everything is looking good inside, and make sure that I have my dimensions, or if I wanted to annotate where, say, the water's coming in, or where some of the electrical panels are, or anything inside the apartment, I could do that. Awesome. So now we're going to switch over to a live demo. I need to see if I can. I need to switch computers because I have my laptop, but I also have the T10 that's connected to the X7. Sophie, are you able to switch to the other Alex as the presenter?
Yes, I can do that. 1 second.
Thank you.
Didn't know we had multiple Alexes. 1 moment.
Yep.
And thank you, Alex, for doing like a live demo. For everyone on the call, it's not a recorded presentation that Alex will do for us. So it's all good, Alex. It's always like this in live demo. So
I can't find you in the system. 1 second, Alex. I can see you as a current panelist, but I can't
there is
see.
presenter and panelist. Oh, there is 2. Alex on the list, Sophie.
Okay, did you get the request now?
Yep.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Anna.
No, it's a live demo. It's perfect. Yeah, we can see the tablet, Alex. All good. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect. Hopefully I do not lose internet here, because I'm a little worried. I have so many wires going everywhere. So try to put that. Okay. Awesome. So hopefully you guys can still hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. We can see you.
Awesome.
Loud
Perfect.
and clear.
So first, I'm just going to kind of go over some stuff for georeferencing, kind of recapping what we talked about. So if I go into this presentation here, or this project in perspective, awesome, I can see that that is there. So this was a scan that I took yesterday, mostly because I don't have a total station here with me today. But let me. So just highlighting, so let me. So around this room, I have, oh wait, it's using that webcam. That's, sorry. So you can see behind me on the wall right there. So there's a target over there. There's a target on that wall, and then there's a target on the wall right behind you guys. So we're about right here in the point cloud. So really quickly, I just wanted to kind of run over adding georeference. So I am kind of cheating here because obviously if you see the refine registration is not available, that's because there's only one scan and I have 3 precision points built off of that scan. But I mostly just wanted to highlight, so when I import my control points, if I go into here, so these were just some DR shots that I took with an S7. So as you can see, so one thing to really highlight here is that, so these are named BW1, BW2, BW3. So those are exactly what I named them inside of the precision points. So the shots that I took are named the same as the precision points. Kind of why that matters. So it does help a little bit, but that's not everything. So obviously, when you import your control, it's going to be using kind of the geometry of the point cloud to figure out what points fit. But when you have them named the same, obviously there's a little bit more confidence there because if they're named the same, they're likely the same. So when I click import on these here, you'll see they're just going to auto match. And so I messed with one of the coordinates to make sure that one of them didn't come in correctly. So obviously both of these are in tolerance, but this last one is not. So if we look under here, we can obviously see for this one, the elevation error is 9/10,000ths. And here,
It's millimeters, Alex. It's
oh wait,
9
yeah, yeah, I was thinking that was double M.
no, it's millimeters. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we can see that 0.3 here, so yeah, 11 millimeters, that makes a lot more sense. So this one right here is not good. So in the scenario where I may have had 5 or 6 more precision points, I would likely, if they were all green and that one was still yellow, I would probably just toss that one because maybe I had just messed up when I was shooting it with the total station and I was not being too careful. So you can see right here. So for this, I can, yeah, so this one's only 12 millimeters off, and if that's okay for what I'm doing, what I would do is just kind of go into settings, units, and I can just change this to 12. And you can see now that they're all green because I changed what my tolerance was. But yeah, as you can see, when I actually georeferenced that project, all of these total station shots just instantly went. Obviously, yes, as I said, it does help when the BW is BW, but also it's mostly on the geometry of the area, and the algorithm can kind of figure out exactly the shape based off of what control you provide. So now my whole project is good and georeferenced. Obviously, I did not have to refine this, but I could finalize this in export, and I could almost instantly bring this, because obviously it's one scan, into Realworks, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to go into all my projects, and so we will start with, we can go into this one really quickly. Yeah, so kind of highlighting a few of the things we went over. So as you kind of saw in that GIF, I can click on this pole. And so while I'm actually in here, I can use the measurement tool to manipulate it. So let's say here, let me increase size here. So I can also use this measurement tool and get a distance. So I'm pretty sure that's the bottom of the pole, but I'm just going to add a little bit more point cloud to verify. All right, so yeah, I can actually see that. In fact, I did not measure to the bottom, so I can just get rid of that one and remeasure. It's a little crooked, but I think I get a pretty good picture of how high up that pole is. So yeah, I really just wanted to highlight there that you can use the measurement tool while you are manipulating the data. So now what I'm going to do quickly is go through a few scans using the indoor mode. So yeah, so here, this is the first scan. So obviously we're doing a full calibration and tilt measurement right now, since it is the first indoor scan that I've activated in this project. Yep. And just in case you weren't able to see it, so activating indoor mode is just right here. So once it's activated, it will remain on. Yep, so now we're done with that calibration, so we're already scanning. I'm going to do my best to stay out of this, but I'm using the USB to serial port just so I can be on the internet as well, since obviously I'm streaming from this. So now this should load in here in a second. And yeah, so I'm in a room that's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. Usually there's some dividers in this room, but I have 3 conference rooms to myself this morning. So here we can see that's the first scan. I'd say it's pretty comparable to a 2-minute standard scan, obviously faster, and the 30-meter range will change it a little bit. But now let me move over. Hopefully this works, but here. And apologize for this. You can't see out on the webcam, but so now the scanner, because it's doing the second scan, so it's not doing a full calibration, but it is just doing a quick check before it starts scanning. Yep, so we already completed that quick check, and now we are good to go. So now apologize again that I can't turn the webcam. I wish I had somebody else in the room with me, but so now that scan's already done and we're off to the races to the next scan. So as you can see, yeah, once you get that first initial calibration going and you do once you do the original full calibration and tilt measurement, you really will be going a lot quicker with these scans. So we can see now we're auto-registering to scan 1. So I only went over to the center of the room a little bit a ways, but here. Yep, so as you can see, just as a kind of a quick inspection of what we're dealing with. So in those 2 scans alone, I probably could use a third one, but I can basically already get the dimensions off of this whole room. So it's really quick and you really don't compromise quality over the 2-minute scan at all. It does a good job. It's really just the difference in the full calibration between the 2 scans and that range difference. Awesome. And then go back into this project really quickly. So one last thing. So obviously if I go to, here, I'll go to a different station. So if I just view this station, just to highlight again. So say I was interested in this box here. It's a lot easier to tap on this. So here, the magnification is based off of the last magnification I used inside the project. But as I reduce it, it's a little too much. Yeah. So yeah, the magnification tool is one of my favorites. And yeah, lastly, one thing, and I guess, Arno, if there's any questions, I'm going to do a 4-minute scan and just kind of go through the precision point and hopefully.
So yeah, I will answer some of the questions. There's quite a lot. Thank you, Alex. Just like for everyone to know like that indoor mode, that when Alex was doing the demo, obviously like when like on site, you don't wait for all the points to be downloaded. Once the scan is over, the lights are green, and then you move the scanner to the next one and you launch another scan. So basically for that indoor mode, when we decided to implement it, we did it because we listened to our customers. And we really wanted to get that indoor mode to really increase productivity. So it means that when you use that mode, you scan, because it's what you wanna do. So some of our beta testers, it was a big task because they did like 100 scans for one project with like the old mode and the same project with a new mode. And basically the time saving was like 35 to 40%. Of course, depends on the job site and how fast you move and so on. But there was few questions like, if it was possible to switch between two modes during scanning. So the answer is yes, you can switch between two modes, especially if you want to take images or precision point. You can switch between those two modes, but once you go back to indoor mode, it will make like the first scan as the full calibration, then you can just go. So basically with that mode, we cannot take, or we don't allow our customers to take like images or precision point with that fast indoor mode, because again, the goal of that mode is to go fast, to make like floor plans. If you want to take photos or precision point, then you can just use a regular mode because you have like a bit more time, and you will not really see the time saving if you start to take images and a precision point, because that time gain will be kind of lost. Is that flat target that you showed is a Trimble part? So we have a Trimble part for flat targets, like a round targets. You can send me an email if you want. We'll send you the part number. And there was a question also, like when conducting an indoor scan, will the scan self-register the same as with longer scans, or do you need like more overlap or common points? No, it will be the same actually, because you will collect the same amount of points. It's just like you switch calibration, like distance and angular. It's more like a more simple one, but there'll be like no difference. Of course, we named that mode indoor because it's really made to be used like indoor. Because we have customers doing like something like 500 scans inside a building, and to save all those seconds at the end of the day, it's a lot of minutes saved. So that's why we did that. Abel, there was a question if we could use like geo reference point only in 2D or 3D, like in Trimble Access. So today it's in 3D, as you could see. But we'll take your comment very seriously. Thank you. And Uli, there was a question to invent like a side view possibility, like a limit box in somewhere. I could say that. So it's a great feedback. It's in our list. So thank you for that. And there was a question also if we can hide scans by labels. So yes, that's also like one of my favorite features of Trimble Perspective. For each scan, you can create a label. So it could be like all the scan in floor 1 or room A or B. So you can label all your scan, and then when you go on the right-hand side, if you look at all the stations, you will see like the different labels. And if you see like label like floor 1, if you click on it, and if all the stations are displayed, then it will just filter, and you will only display the station with that correspond to that label. Maybe Alex, you want to speak? I can take the question after. If you're ready, or I'll continue answering question. You just let me know.
Yeah, I'll talk for a few minutes.
Okay, no, it's all good.
So here I'm essentially just using the precision point. So yeah, highlighting one thing really quickly. So having the laser pointer on will also enable these micro adjustments where you can see, sorry, my webcam quality is not that great, so and I can't zoom in on it, but here, actually, let me, yeah, my computer's plugged in. So I have the laser pointer on in the center of the target that's behind you guys. I don't know how big my webcam can get for you, but essentially I'm just in perspective, kind of pushing around where this, where the laser pointer is aiming. And I personally, yeah, as I said, the laser pointer is one of my favorite features, because if I had my total station here and I was taking DR shots and I had the laser on and like an F7 or something, I can physically see that those two took the shot at the same exact point, instead of if there was yeah, for instance, if it was just what you're seeing in perspective and you can only see the target from the point cloud, then it gets a little hairy as to, am I really on it? I mean, I can zoom in quite a bit, but there's really no compromise for having that laser pointer there. So I'm just going to call this test, and I can just scan this point. So I don't have a stopwatch on me, but if you timed this and compared it to the behavior of the old firmwares, where it would, so right now it's just doing a quick check instead of any sort of calibration, it would be a little bit faster. And for every precision point, that time really does add up if you're adding a lot of precision points in. I don't know, you can continue with questions while this is
Sure. So there are a lot of questions, which is good. And if we cannot get to all those questions, we will get back to all of you. And I think we might even do like another like ask the expert session like we did in the past to go through, because I see a lot of questions, which is excellent. So then a question like, could you explain why the georeference error was so high on the first setup? So that error was like 12 millimeter, I believe, if I recall that. And it's because Alex, when he set up those targets, he just wanted to do like a demo like that. So it was not like a real project. In a real life, he would have done like phase 1, phase 2 averaging when measuring those targets. So the quality of those points would have been better. So it was just a demo. In real life example, you will get like a sub 10 millimeters, so sub centimeter fairly easily. Of course, it depends with the distance to the target and so on. Obviously.
Yeah, just to highlight that more, I intentionally modified the elevation of one of the points to intentionally make it wrong because I wanted one to show up out of tolerance.
Okay, thank you for that explanation, Alex. And so can you measure precision point in the field with spheres or targets only? So because we measure to the center, it's easier to like a flat target because with a sphere, we will not get exactly the center. So for the global conversion factor, so TBC, as you know, is like the only software that can do like scale factor of a point cloud or scale a point cloud. So we still recommend to, if you like a very long or large project, to use like TBC to apply the scale factor. So yeah, the range for indoor 30-meter radius or diameter. So no, the 30 meters is like the maximum distance from the scanner to the object. We wanted to limit this for angular accuracy purposes. So we discussed a lot with our engineers, and they always want the best, but we wanted also the best for our customers. So we decided to limit the range of the scan to 30 meters for that mode. Again, it's for production purposes. And I got a nice feedback this morning for some people who said that it was really good because we limit the range, so like a less point like further down for their project, like especially if you scan like through windows. You know, sometimes you can get points on the building outside, and by limiting the range with that mode, those points are not in the scan because they cannot collect them. So again, that indoor mode won't be able to take photos. No, again, we really decided, we spent a lot of time to think about it, and we really wanted to limit for the time gain. So if we start to add many features, there is less benefit of using that mode. Again, it's really like a productivity mode, that indoor mode. And Jean-Philippe, it's good to see you. Next time we speak in French, but how many points per station are collected indoor mode? Exactly the same number of points than with the other mode. It's just faster because we don't do the full calibration. How many points? And of course, it depends if you like how many points are inside you, but same amount of points. And do you plan to implement feature to help eliminate moving object doing 2-pass scan? So we have a different technique. You know, we have the classification tool inside Realworks or TBC to eliminate like a moving object already. And but Michel, we can discuss further if you have more things. Any plans to extract the HQ panorama as photosphere deliverable? So yeah, we have a list. Jason is on the call. He can also like comment the fact to extract a panorama. But yeah, it's not the first time we receive that feedback, so it's definitely on our list, Daniel. So Michel, can we expect more new features to be added in the future? Yes, the answer is yes. You will see more new features coming in the future. We can't tell you all the features right now, but we're working on a lot of features. So that's yeah, it will. From perspective, is just the beginning. It's not like a dead software. You will see more coming. There was this question about field link. We are really doing like the perspective presentation here, so we can get back to you after Jack about all this. But that's a different topic. But yeah, we'll get back to you. Do precision points need to be placed with a total station, or can they be placed with the X7? They can also be placed with a GNSS. Here, Alex was shooting like target on the wall, but really like job site, like with a total station, you can put like a nail on the ground, you know, the coordinates of those points on the ground. You can either shoot directly to the nail, or you can put like a target onto a rod that you fix on top of that known point. You can measure the height of that target and just shoot at the target to get the coordinates of that point on the ground. So different technique like you would do like with a total station. Jason, I hope you're on the call because I forgot that one. Can precision points be exported in E57 format?
The precision points are going to go out not as E57. So they'll go into Trimble Realworks or Trimble Business Center. In Realworks, they're going in as an annotation point. In Trimble Business Center, I believe they're going in as a measured point, like a topo point from a GPS or a total station.
Thank you. And then they can be exported in E57 after, if someone wanted. There was a question about the red laser pointer for the SX12 that is green now, and if we plan to do it for the X7, so it will be good to know why you would like to see the green pointer for the X7. I'm very happy to discuss with you, Ville or Ville. You can contact us if so. Is there on-site training option for georeferencing? So yes, Leon, there is. I don't know where you're located, but all the Trimble dealers are trained on a Trimble perspective on the X7 and what it can do. So please, as you can see here on the screen, don't hesitate to reach out to us or to your local dealer. If you don't know with your local dealer, you can reach out to me or Alex. Please do so, and we'll put you in touch. It's going to be more than happy to help you. And yes, for everyone else, if you never saw like the indoor mode, it's difficult to get the feeling of the time gain with 2 or 3 scans. You have really to experience it like on a project, like let's say like 40 or 50 scans, and you will really see a huge difference. And that's why we made it. I need some information on integrating our total scan on X7. So yeah, James, again, if you, I don't know where you're located, but if you contact your local dealer, they're going to be more than happy to help you. You can also like send us an email for the Trimble team on the call, and we'll direct you. We can also help you. And is it possible to set the setting high sensitivity for the inside scanning? That's a good question, Bert. Yep, good point. We'll take that into my list. That's a very good question. Thank you. Would there be a possibility to make marks with video comments? So you make like a annotation. So today we can make annotations. So Alex didn't get the chance to do that, but you can take photos. And so you'd like to add like a video comment. So Jason, I'll let you take note. We'll get the list of the question, but really thank you for that comment. Yes, so someone did like a big project, but yes, Bert will get back to you about that one. Would you recommend precision point as a verification process along the project? For example, station 1 has 2 targets measured with precision point, and I have the same 2 targets, station 30, measured also with precision point. Could the difference be used as precision verification? Yes, it can, Sergio, definitely. And also when you do geo-referencing in the field, you don't need to shoot the 3 points with the same station. You can shoot like 1 precision point with the first station, then until station 5, you don't shoot any more points. Station 5, you shoot another one, and so you can just geo-reference the full project at the end. So there is several options. You can do like if you do like a traverse, shooting your non-points at the beginning and then at the end. You can go on adding a precision point. The goal depends on what's your end goal, what you want to achieve at the end. But we have like several options, really. And again, if you want to know all of them, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us or your local dealer. We'll be more than happy to help you. And so someone has some problem in the field, some wireless disconnecting the tablet from the X7. Yeah, USB in the middle project, it has no problem to. So use a Wi-Fi all the time. It depends how far you go. If you go with your tablet and you walk around the project, you might lose a Wi-Fi if you go far away. So usually I suggest you leave the tablet next to the scanner. Otherwise, if you lose a Wi-Fi, the scan will still be like saved onto the SD card, and you can also like synchronize after with the tablet. So you can use that. And something we did not mention too, if you plan to go far from the scanner, you can also, or if you want to go somewhere else, you cannot carry the tablet. We have an application called Trimble Perspective Mobile on your mobile phone that you can use, and you can really see the benefit of it. Someone had some problem with the T10 tablet. I don't see the end of your text, Evangelos. You can please, can you send me an email or give us like more details, or again contact your local dealer, because it's hard to answer the question like this. I don't have all the details. And yes, Chad's webinar will be available for download or recording, and will be sent out afterward. And again, for all of you on the call, and it's not sometimes easy to ask questions, but please don't hesitate to ask us or your local dealers to get answers or to get demo. But really, again, with the X7, the best thing you can do is to experience the Trimble X7 in perspective. Really experience it, try it, and yeah, you will love it. And I'm sure of that. And so thank you, Alex. It's just over time. Please don't hesitate to send more questions. Contact us or the local dealer, please, please, please. And as you can see here, if you go to the website, you can ask us questions right there. On the assistant on the page, you can ask all the questions you want, and we'll get back to you in a very short time. And thank you, Alex, again for the live demo. It was excellent. It was a big challenge to a live demo. So thank you for this.
Yeah. Arnaud, just can I add a quick comment?
Sure.
Sorry for before I had some problems with my microphone. I just want to thank Alex for the great presentation and also all the participants to attend this webinar. So as you can see, we are continuously trying to improve the performance of our products and the related workflows. So I can just say stay tuned for the upcoming webinars and for the news that we will have in the future. And so for any further information, as Arnaud said, please contact us directly, visit our dedicated webpage, or get in contact with our distribution network. And we are here to assist and help you. So thanks. Thanks again, Alex.
Good. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.